I'll tell these guys that we're ready to go, actually.
Yep, we are ready to go, and
What do you make of this? I'm afraid I only know a couple of maps in the pool at the moment, so it's going to be taking a little bit of time really understanding some of these. I've had a chance to warm myself up on them, but now we're getting into the number 1 THC tourney map 1. I'm watching DraQu at the moment.
hold on.
This is a winner bracket quarter-final game, by the way.
Yeah, so
Best of 3.
The tournament has been running a lot earlier. People have taken an hour time to play the games, and there we go with the first frag. DraQu just obliterating Hal there, and as said before, Hal, one of the strongest CPM players of all time, also strong on Reflex. But DraQu is doing good in the beginning, just trying to get some sort of control over the map.
He was really trying to get over to that red armor quick enough after he'd collected the other resources, but that's going to go the way of Hal this time round. And there's definitely one thing that we have to talk about at some point, and it is the fact that these guys are not going to be timing themselves. And this is a discussion that I'd like to... It's already been brought up a million times in the Reflex forums and things like that. Yeah. But I want to... I support it, by the way. And I just want to make that clear first, and we'll talk about it a bit more later on. DraQu's got some okay control at the moment. It's like, it's not going too badly.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
I don't know how much, you know, what his standings are like in any kind of make-believe leaderboard are against Hal, but this is definitely a lead that he's going to want to cherish a bit. Don't make too many mistakes with the control. Try and win those fights. He catches him off guard.
He already knocked down the Mega off his opponent and should be getting the frag. Not quite landing that rail. And Hal just got the red armor, which is keeping him alive at the moment. Of course, DraQu already setting up here on the yellow room where you have the 50 bubble as well, which is very strong area. Nice rail there. He's really keeping the damage up.
No, his damage has been great actually, and that trap that he had beforehand was almost exactly like the first frag he scored. So Hal's going to have to really look out for that. And the mechanics on the Mega as well, it's once you've taken the Mega, once that player has taken 100 damage, not lost 100 health or anything like that, 100 damage, then that's when the timer for the Mega restarts.
Yeah, unlike like Quake World and CPM, where it's like if the owner has less than 100 health, then it's gonna start taking down. It's a slightly different system, but works kind of the same.
Pushing with the rail there, close range. Very aggressive. Gets another one.
Could be getting the frag. Nope, it's Hal taking the item. And right now, like the control of the map has been very even. And DraQu hasn't been able to get any frags in a while now. Still the 2-0 difference, which is kind of small. Yeah.
Hal wants it, and he gets it.
That's it, and I don't think I have follow killer yet in, so back to Hal's point of view this time.
His rockets are just so sick though by DraQu. Like, it doesn't matter if he goes down now, he's just done an enormous amount of damage. Yeah,
and the thing with the Reflex rockets is the knockback is very huge, so if you can land a single good rocket, your opponent's gotta be careful and he might want to fall back, because getting trapped by rocket knockback is a serious risk.
You're just like immobile, you're such an easy target at that point.
Basically, yeah, like if you're properly in the air, you can already say goodbye.
Like here, that's exactly what Hal did to DraQu.
And we do have a tied game, 2-2 now.
And this is a map that I don't know as well as a couple of the others in the pool, but it feels kind of small actually. I mean,
yeah, that's you gotta have small maps for this kind of a game. Like when you look at all the CPM maps that were played, they're all small and fast-paced. Then that's kind of how Reflex plays as well.
Yeah, when you compare it to Quake Live, it's like, wow, they really do favor the smaller, faster maps. We're gonna get another frag there on the board.
Yep.
For Hal.
But Hal does need some health real quick. I mean, he's on 30, he can find some of those bubbles, and he's just listening for his opponent's sound, just to know what kind of path he can take safely. And with very good movement, it's not too big of a problem for him.
Oh, Mega's up, but the LG damage from Hal.
Oh, quite a lot there. Small freeze there, but doesn't matter. And Hal setting up in the... or he was setting up in the yellow room, but going for the red instead is not a bad call. I think the yellow is still up, yeah. If Hal is able to get the frag here, that could be fantastic, but DraQu's rockets were able to get the frag, and it's again a 3-tied game now. DraQu able to get the excellent with another rocket. I don't know if your HUD has the excellent award thing. I think it's in this competition HUD we're using. It's pretty damn cool.
Sadly, I don't think I have it on my HUD. I didn't get a chance to set it up, but...
Yeah, THC has been working on this spec HUD, which is actually pretty damn cool when you look at it.
Hal manages to get himself in. He's back in the lead now. It's very much back and forth at this point. I mean, DraQu's rockets have been incredible. That's for one thing that's really been keeping him in the game a lot at the moment. Now Hal trying to get his damage out. I think Hal has also been playing on the red armor a lot better than DraQu.
Yeah, and the red armor, of course, in a tiered armor system is much stronger than a red armor in games like Quake Live. So that's also something to keep in mind if you haven't really ever followed Quake World or CPM or anything like that.
Do some DraQu on the lower levels, trying to get some damage out.
Oh, not quite getting the mega health there. DraQu got the steal and he hasn't been taking any damage. Or actually, yes, he has. Ooh. He just lost the 100 points of health and Mega started counting. That's also one thing you can look at when you just try to approximate the damage is dealt.
True,
Even though there's the damage numbers as well.
DraQu's pretty weak at this point. He's trying to get out, but not going to be able to. Nicely finished off. That's 6-4 at the moment in favor of Hal.
Yeah, and with less than 4 minutes in, it's looking quite strong if it can keep the same kind of control, that is.
It's not like getting out of hand at all, though. What I'm worried is for Hal is that... Oh, nicely done. Is if DraQu picks up one kill, getting those spawn frags on the go, you just need to land direct rockets and your opponent's just going to die over and over.
Yeah, but it's not a complete random spawn system, so it favors the ones that are actually further away from your opponent.
Okay.
So it's not like the same kind of spawn fest as sometimes you see in Quake World.
That was close. 36 health left for Hal at this point, and he gets the mega. It's just 2 massive resources in a row. The rockets again for DraQu. Can he land one more? No, he can't quite. 9-4. Now the score is starting to get out of hand a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's no control for Hal.
That's the thing. He's only having some of that green armor to work with. If DraQu is able to do some attacks, that could be okay, but doesn't matter. Hal already at 200 red.
DraQu was on the other side of the map there when red was respawning. You know, and at this point when we do have the timers up for everyone, as long as you've got a weapon, there shouldn't be much in the way of excuses for not attacking these big items, especially when your opponent's weak. DraQu does go down again, and just as Hal's getting weak, he manages to pick up another small item. Can he get this fight down? His mouse control is going bananas.
I really like Hal's dodge there in that fight. It was serving him really good, but DraQu able to get the frag, and it's 2 minutes to get 5 frag. It's still very much doable, but look at this. He's already taking a lot of damage, and he can't really push. He doesn't have those rockets anymore. It's not looking too strong for DraQu if he looks into converting. I think Hal is actually on a better stack now after getting the mega and the yellow armor. For those people actually watching the stream, not Zoot at the moment, you can see like your opponent's stack on the top right corner, which is pretty handy.
Very nice.
That's something I wish Quake Live had about it, you know.
I wish I had it, to be honest. Right now I haven't sorted it out. I'll have to look at...
At least you can switch between point of views.
True.
Yeah, let's switch back to... Actually, I'm gonna keep on DraQu's point of view, sorry about the switches. But it's 1.5 minutes remaining. I want to see what kind of stuff he's able to do here. He really needs to push hard in order to get back in the game.
Do we know which one of them picked this map?
I can't remember.
I'll see if I can go up and take a look. Hal picked this one, okay, and he is leading on it.
Yep, 1 minute left, basically. And there we go, 13-5. It's pretty safe to say it's GG.
Yeah, I mean, DraQu has just been struggling with the controls so much, which is a big shame. I don't think he's putting enough focus on it, or maybe it's just because Hal's putting so much focus on it and he's winning all these aim fights, which wasn't quite the same at the beginning of the duel when DraQu's rockets were carrying him into the lead and onto the board very efficiently. I go for another little fight there on the mega. DraQu's sitting on 9 health, collecting a couple of resources, desperately trying to get a frag.
I think DraQu might be getting one, but no. Hal is being slippery. I mean, this guy has played CPM for I don't know how long, but his movement on any maps he has practiced, it's just amazing to watch.
The mouse control's pretty crazy at this point. I don't know if it's more than how. I don't know. It looks hypersensitive, sensitized or something like that. I'm gonna have to look into it as we go into the next maps, which is I think is either 13 or going to 7. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either what it is, but yeah, well played by Hal.
I gotta say I want the map names to be changed. This should be the map of fire or something like that. I don't like these sort of acronyms and file name.
Yeah, unless you really care about like the actual order of the maps, then yeah, it's not very useful.
I want a proper name. I want to call vote the Land of Sorrows or whatever. So something a bit more memorable, you know. But you know, that's just a minor critique that really doesn't matter at all. Oh crap.
Yeah, you should probably do that. Make sure you're on spectator.
I did not even realize.
There we go. But yeah, I do agree, like having actual more unique rememberable names could be handy. Oh, we're on the wrong version of the map. Yeah, there's two versions of the DM13. There's the A version, which has a small hole under the red armor.
Yeah, this is actually one of the maps I know a little bit. I do quite like it's a bit bigger than the last map that we were on. A couple more sort of layers to it, and so a lot of fun little jumps on it as well. Whereas I think like the last map, even though there are some technical jumps on it, it's a lot more smooth, it's a lot more fluid, free-flowing than this one. And I don't think I would definitely put this one as harder to get some of the jumps going, like to railgun, for example. There's many different ways to get there, and even sort of ways that you want to get yourself onto the red armor or the lightning gun or various things like that. Well, we'll see when these guys fancy going live. This is DraQu, who would like to get himself a win in the bag in this best of 3. Who do you say is the favorite in this cup? Is Hal a favorite?
Honestly, I'd say Hal is the favorite. I haven't been able to watch that much Reflex lately. I know there's been some streams going on for it, but you know, last time I saw Hal play in a cup, he was just doing godlike.
Yeah.
And I think some of the players should be able to catch up to him. I haven't seen all of them that are playing today. Like, actually, I'm surprised to see DraQu doing this good against Hal.
Like, I feel that what prevents Hal from getting into a sort of a level like Evil is on online tournaments in Quake Live is the fact that he's like such a free spirit instead. He doesn't really care that much about winning as much as he cares about how awesome his jumps and frags were during that game. You know?
I mean, previously in the EU Cup, Hal almost got a death loss in the final because he went to eat some family dinner before the game started, and we didn't actually hear about it. So, yeah.
For God's sake.
He still played the game and managed to win it, and we are getting into the second map here in our first game of today.
Awesome. Let's do this. Who do you want?
I'm on Hal's point of view here, and he did hear that Mega getting picked up, but he's doing good trying to defend this red and actually doing a rocket jump for it. Just leave the area completely.
That was a bit of a mess though for both players trying to get on the red. In the end, Hal just did a sort of little sketchy rocket jump to get onto it. Wow. Is that a grenade that he just switched to on the teleporter exit?
I think it was. I mean, you have almost instant weapon switch in this game, so you can actually go and throw those grenades like that.
I'm just looking at the colors of stuff and really understanding what's happening there. This is going to be first blood for Hal. He manages to pick up the red armor. I'm going to be paying attention carefully to how often DraQu's getting the red armor, or setting up for it even, on this map. Oh, there might be a frag here for DraQu. Hal, emergency shift around to the Mega. And it's a race to resources, which 9 times out of 10, Hal seems to be winning. Oh my god.
Yeah, DraQu is actually left quite low. He doesn't have any armor. And he has like 50 health remaining. Hal on a full stack. And full, or not quite full stack.
Full armor at least.
Not even 200 health. I was just looking at the spec.
What a loser.
Oh man. Yeah, I know, right? 100 health, almost 200 armor. There you go.
Back into hiding.
But DraQu was doing a good job not actually losing a frag there when he was left super low. Hal not able to deal with damage.
I do like that little change there below red. It's very nice. Oh my god, the rockets are sick. I like that you can do that sort of damage underneath the red from the kind of mega area. That's a good change on the map. A lot of that. There's 120 damage there done onto DraQu. He is suffering at the moment. Bit of algae. This should be an easy frag. Yep.
There we go. 3-0 for Hal, and he's getting the mega health. Already taking position on the red as well.
He just took.
Oh wow. Man, that was beautiful rocket there, and a rail finish. Now he's just going all around the map, and imagine he's just trying to do all the damage possible because he's such a massive stack. He doesn't care too much about the defense efforts from DraQu, but no, he's actually not going for it. Just waiting for this yellow instead.
Oh, he did take the yellow, the red, and the mega last time around. He's gonna try to do it again. This time DraQu gets it though. Finally, he manages to get. That's a really nice steal actually, because the Hal's not gonna have that extra armor defense behind him. And the mega up in a couple of seconds. Is DraQu going to challenge for this? He's not. How weak? He was on about 50-50. So maybe he could have challenged or at least done some damage. I just look for. If you're not going to go for the item, go for damage.
Yeah, look at that. Hal's just rotating those items. He doesn't have all the ammo for all the necessary weapons. Like he was clicking empty on the iron cannon. Finally getting some of it. So now I'd imagine Hal is more willing to take fights, even though he already has a 5-0 lead here. If he can just keep up with the control, I think that might be more useful.
Is 5-0 really a comfortable lead here, or is a bit more necessary?
Well, it's not quite the comfortable, but when you make decisions of going for items instead of the damage, at that point you might lean more to the items.
Okay. I'm mesmerized by Hal's movement at the moment. He's doing some just seriously sick stuff.
Okay, yeah.
DraQu down once more. I'm gonna keep an eye on DraQu and see what he's gonna be doing off these monsters. He's got red armor coming up right now. Hal comes up just in time, but doesn't get the armor, and DraQu escapes with quite a lot of it left. This is his chance to do damage. He did a lot. Hal was left on about 50 health then. He's got 27 HP left, but Mega was just taken by him as well. This is closer. This is still the chance for DraQu to get into this. He just needs to find Hal wherever the hell he's gone.
Oh, Hal trying to land the rocket from below, but not landing too much damage on the item. And I think now it's DraQu's actual chance of trying to get a frag or something here. If you could, oh,
he's missing his
never
shots,
mind.
Though.
Never mind. Yeah, he's not dealing damage very well, and Hal's defensive play with those hitscan weapons was just amazing.
I think DraQu should play it just a little bit slower, kind of. When he gets that control, he starts running around a bit too much. And when you're trying to play a really, really fast game, then few people are going to be, winning other than Hal. Just try to set up those traps and stuff before. Like, that was really what worked really nice on last map for DraQu, and allowed him to get on the board quite a bit. Right now, Hal 8-0 as we approach the halfway point, and not really showing too many signs of dropping the ball here. Little cute jumps again from Hal.
Yeah, he probably not like all of the cute jumps at all of the maps, and he's keeping up with the damage. Should be another frag. There we go.
Lovely job.
Oh man, even double metal thing look amazing in this HUD.
This is not allowing him to go through the teleporter at all. He's going to get one more kill. 11-0. And this quarterfinal looks like it is soon to be over. With Hal trying to secure his way to the semis and beyond.
Yeah, not looking too strong for DraQu at the moment. Probably I had some white pixels on my stream, but actually, I don't know if that did the trick. God damn it, overlays.
This is a good chance for DraQu, maybe. He's got Mega, he's got a bunch of armor, albeit entirely from green armors.
I'm actually switching to his point of view. I mean, with this kind of Mega stack, you should be able to do something if you can just find the damage. There we go. Good
that's
rockets.
More like it.
There we go. Finally first frag.
And that all kind of stemmed from actually a much slower way of playing. He was kind of waiting for Hal to inevitably move himself into a position where he'd at some point take more damage. This red is up at the moment. Are they going to fight for it, or are they going to just fight for the kill first time? Well, Hal gets the kill, and then he gets rewarded by the red. That's a shame. I think if DraQu could have maneuvered his way onto red armor, because Hal was just like a fraction of a second slow to the fight, then you know, maybe that could have been a different outcome, and DraQu would be able to string together a couple more frags. DraQu does get a good couple of rockets.
Man. Yeah, but he needs to keep up with the damage. I mean, he can't really slow down at all at this point when there's 12 frags to make up.
Yeah, you just need to get that brilliant first frag and then try and string some together through the spawns.
Oh, that was some very good LG.
Yeah, that's something. And you know, this is definitely the type of game where you can make rapid comebacks. There we go. It's happening. He just about gets the mega. The timing on that was perfect. He's going to get another frag possibly. Yep. This is the kind of speed that he needs to be taking in order to get himself back into this. 10 frags is manageable.
And I don't think he's really letting Hala get too much of items at the moment either.
He's got to be on the ball right now, and he's doing a brilliant job, honestly. Don't forget red. Red is so important to get to red now.
Yeah.
He's let Hal get onto it. He's doing well in the fight.
There we go. He's not caring if he lets his opponent take the red. But getting himself on the 50 bubble might be handy at this moment. There we go.
Oh, he needs to win this fight. He can't be dropping the game now. The mega's going to be up, and Hal gets the kill. That was a nice string of frags that DraQu was getting. I wonder if he's going to have another chance of doing this. He got onto the red armor. Mega was taken by Hal, of course. And with only the rocket launcher in hand, DraQu does not feel comfortable taking a fight at mid-range. Especially when he has to aim, like, upstairs. I think maybe that was the cause of that. He had one messed jump that he did before the red armor was spawning. I think it was around when he was taking yellow.
Yeah,
at that point, focus on the red. Yeah, he should have put more emphasis on the red, really. The yellow was nowhere near as important. Even though he won the fight at red, he was so weak after it that it allowed Hal to, you know, kind of get the victory of him as they made the fight towards mega health. It seemed like quite a one-sided game at first, but I'm glad that DraQu managed to get in.
Yeah, he had a very nice spree of kills there. Not quite able to carry it home though. 40 seconds now and 10 frag difference. And yeah, looks like Hal is just gonna stay in the tournament. Of course, there's the losers bracket as well, so DraQu's gonna have one more chance.
Yep, that's right. Got player Guy is sitting down in the loser bracket. Actually, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play if he doesn't get knocked out of the tournament at all. He's one of my favorite players to watch, even in Quake Live. Even though in terms of Quake Live duelers, he's, you know, you wouldn't consider him top tier. He just has that kind of CPM reflex element to it, which is just fun to watch no matter what.
Yeah, it's always nice to see when people actually focus on the movement and the very smooth use of different weapons. There we go.
That's 2-0 for Hal in the first game of the day. And we'll look into what we're going to be getting next. I'm starting to see some of these features on that HUD. They are actually quite cool.
Yeah, I need to fix one problem in the stream.